All right, just one more car to move. Man, the thing's freaking heavy, dude. 2 JZs, 350Z transmissions. They are absolute freaking pigs. Anyways, guys, welcome back to the channel. Good morning. I'm winded. I'm out of breath. We got some work to do. Let's get started. Let me show you what we're doing, I should say. I guess I can do that. Whatever. You know what I'm saying. So the Cressida, I'm finishing that finally on Monday. The last of the parts showed up. Ignore that. Dirty. And this is the prize winner for the day. So this actually belongs to a subscriber. He just dropped it off a few minutes ago. We were just chatting. Turns out he's been watching the channel for like 5 years, I think. He said he found me right before I swapped the DA. K-swapped it, I should say. So yeah, nice little Civic. We're just doing some weld repair on it. But the weld repair requires, removal because I got the lift. So he's basically, the header, we got a crack in it. Some people call it junk 2. Some people call it skunk 2. I'm not here to debate that. I like some of their stuff. I don't like some of their stuff. Point of the fact is, or matter of the fact is, fuck, I was out of breath. Matter of the fact is, though, the header needs to be repaired, so that's what we're gonna do. Yeah, this guy's pretty darn cool. If I can get the key. Oh, I still got the Toyota key in my hand. Man, it's a morning. This one's a Honda key. This shifter feels interesting. Had to make sure it was in neutral. That's kind of sloppy. But anyway, yeah, this guy said he's been watching me for quite a few years now, which I just think is awesome. He even said, because he drives off for work, so when I used to have the Del Sol, he used to see me zipping home from Hassport in the Del Sol. Very cool though. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna pull this header off really quick once I get in the shop, and we're gonna try and get this thing cleaned up and patched up for him. I wanna see how bad the crack is though. Love how twitchy the throttle is on these 8th gens. It's quite nice. Very easy to drive, for sure. I just never got used to how long these dashboards are. So hard to see. Ooh, that's a spicy one. I just want to thank any of you guys that have found me or watched my videos, especially, those of you that are local and you find my videos or you watch me regularly or anything, and you come and get work done. Because to me, that is freaking awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of get cracking on this thing because, time is money, and the more time I spend talking to you guys, the less money I make. So I will take you guys along with me as we get this thing out. Yeah, it's, if you've never done it on these things, it's kind of tedious. The 8th gens. This generation Civic or whatever has the cowl, so we got to pull the wipers, pull the cowl, get the hardware. I got to let it cool off though, because this dude did, drive it here, so it's very toasty under the hood. And then on the top of the subframe, there's like a series of connectors on the right side for like the EPS. You got to just unbolt that and move that over, and then you can pull the header out pretty easy. I've mentioned that in previous videos before, but there's a quick synopsis of it for you. Let's get started. We're taking a break from the Civic for a second because I got to show you guys something. Look at this blast from the past. So depending on how often you watch my videos or what part of the channel you joined in on, you'd know this car. This is my old Miata. This is the one that I actually sold to pick up the S2000. So yeah, the owner just picked it up, or the current owner just picked it up a few days ago, and he found my videos. He hit me up because he lives actually pretty close to me, and he was just wanting to bring it by. He was having some issues, really high idle, and he wanted me to see if I could check it out really quick, and I found the problem right away. So thankfully it just turned out to be a missing vacuum cap right over there on the manifold. And then it's kind of neat though, but it's also depressing because this thing has changed, and not for the better, since it was taken from me, or taken out of my possession. So you can see the front bumper pretty beat up. It's missing the front lip, the lower canards. I guess the first kid that I sold it to ended up putting it into a ditch. But everything else is pretty original. Still has the Kevlar wide body flares. It's still on the rotogrid. Still has the same turbo, and most of the engine bay is the same. It's missing my cooling plates. It's missing the ducting inside the bumper. But the manifold was changed to, looks like a cast one. The downpipe was modified. But But other than that, yeah, they kind of just unfortunately let it go a little bit. But this guy definitely seems like he's going to take good care of it. They did get rid of my Sparco Sprint for some reason. They put in a Rep Bride, and then the current owner just put a Momo in here instead of the NRG that was in here. And it looks like he needs to tighten that steering hub, so I may have to do that for him before he leaves, because I don't want him to leave like that. Still has my gauges and stuff. Water temp looks like it's doing a lot better. Still has my gauges down there. But man, still, you know, the roll bar a little chipped up, but we're still looking good. The exhaust, I don't remember selling them the center exit exhaust, because before we had the Spalab side exit, or you know, the angle of the exit one, but you know, it's still got my bash bar. Man, this is just too cool. I miss this thing. But I'm at least very glad that it was able to stay local relatively. So it was in the West Phoenix area for a while, but now it's back on my side of town, so I'm sure I'll be seeing this thing a lot more, which is just really cool. And I'm just, again, I'm glad I was able to get this guy some help and get it running a little bit better. You know, he's going to try and change the EC out, do a Mega Square instead of the Speedy, he said, and just going to have some fun with it. But at least now, should be happy. But I'm just glad that it's not blown up or, you know, stuck in a ditch somewhere, because that'd be really unfortunate. But it's crazy. Very crazy. Small world, you know. All right. She's out. But I don't really see the crack. Oh, never mind. I found it. It's along this whole runner right here. This whole second runner. I don't know if it's going to focus, but yeah, let's oh, it's all the way around too. I mean, I can only weld most of it, but we'll give it our best shot. Let's get on the table. So the only downside about it being cracked where it is, which is again on the bottom portion of this runner where the weld joint is like, if you guys know anything about TIG welding, obviously it has to be as clean as you can possibly make it. And the issue with it being in there is I can't get that far up. I just got crap all over my forehead. Let me go wipe that off really quick. I'm so good at making a mess myself. This is why I don't have nice things, honestly. But anyway, back to what I was saying. So the issue is that, you know, cleanliness-wise, this has to be clean, and I can't really clean out the inside. I don't know how. If you guys, you know, maybe you're longer, more experienced fabricators than I am, and you have means of cleaning it, please let me know in the comments down below. Because I can try and hit it with some like Purple Power or degreaser inside, but that only does so much. So in the meantime, I'm just going to clean up what I can on the outside, and we'll make a pass over it, and that should be good. As for why it broke, it's hard to say. Maybe that's just the Skunk 2 quality some of us have come to know and love. Maybe it was a factor of heat and vibration, but he's got all the hangers and everything he needs down there. He's got the, you know, donut gasket on here. So honestly, I think it was just a matter of weld quality. So I was just about to start welding, and the Miata pulled back up. He's like, hey, that vacuum cap that you put on and blew off again really quick. Do you have another? So I looked, I didn't have one. So I was like, send him on his way. He's gonna run by a parts on his way home. And then sure enough, as soon as he gets out of the neighborhood, I'm like, oh wait, no, duh. So the issue was that piece that I was putting a vacuum cap on, and the reason he had no power brakes that he was talking about is the silly brake booster line had popped off at some point for some reason, and the kid before him put a zip tie on there, and it kept popping off under boost. So I just reattached it, put an actual clamp on there, and just sent him on his way. So now I got this as clean as I'm gonna be able to get it. Let's weld it up. So I don't know how, but I managed to get the weld all the way around. I mean, granted, I know how I did it, but like, I was surprised I was able to do it. My tungsten is kind of dead, like short, like lengthwise, and I was barely able to stick it out just enough to get all the way around there. So I am very happy with that. It should hold up for quite a while. Again, I think the reason for failure was probably just, you know, maybe the wrong filler rod for some reason, or, you know, the weld on this, because this is thinner than this side over here, maybe it just wasn't strong enough. I don't know. But he should be good for a long while now. Now gotta shove this thing back up in there, and like I mentioned before, now that I got this bracket out of the way that's right up there, this bracket, this one goes over the steering rack right here. Once that's out of the way, makes it much easier to get this thing in and out. Let's go! It's all put back together. It's looking pretty good now. I did notice a few other quirks about the car that he needs to address, like the rear shocks are pretty blown. You can move them up and down super easy. The sway bar end link on this corner is broken, or at least missing the nut. I don't have one, so it's kind of just flopping around. Little things like that, which I'm sure he may or may not already know, but I'm just gonna let him know anyway. But other than that, I'm gonna go ahead, drop this thing down. It's ready to get out of here. I just texted the guy. He'll be here in about an hour to pick it up. And then I actually got to run down to the Apple store. I'm treating myself because I need a new phone. So I have the 12 Pro right here. So it still works and everything, just fine. The batteries, you know, needing to be replaced more than anything. And then the speaker, these have speaker issues like speakerphone, or like when you're listening to videos and stuff, it gets all distorted and like staticky. But I'm just going to upgrade because I could use one. And, you know, I'm about to finish paying off my MacBook, and then I just need to keep the credit rolling because I'm trying to build credit. So the Apple card, such an awesome card. But I figured I would give my mom this phone, so I'm going to go ahead and get the battery replaced. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and we'll figure something else to do for the rest of the day. Maybe we'll just go get the phone and go from there. Okay, got a case, we got a phone. It is hot as absolute balls today, dude. Summer showed up way too fast. So I'm going to actually go, I got to meet my girlfriend at the dealership because my tires just came in, and my buddy is working today, so he's gonna throw my tires on because they got a fancy machine for, you know, the Type R wheels and stuff, so they don't ding them up. So I trust him to not scratch my powder coat or chip it up. So we're gonna go slap some new tires on this freaking car. They're nothing special. You know, it's summer. I need some mileage. I need to save some money, so I just got some cheapy Indonesian all season. So let's go see how these are. Honda boy. So these are the tires. I'm going with some Henna Fortiums. Yeah, some Indonesian high tread wear all seasons, but I just needed something to hold me over until end of summer because, you know, I'm not tracking, like I said, till later this year, so these should do me just fine until I can save up for this Tail of the Dragon trip. But yeah, but they're wider, and I also wanted to get some cheap tires in 245, jumping from 235 to make sure I can feed them. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to do some more rolling and pulling and oling. Alright, we got the car up on the rack. Now this thing's kind of a treat with the S2000, at least with mine, because I got that big old front splitter on there. We have to use like those rubber pucks from the other lift with long pieces of wood to stick under the ramp to climb up, and yeah, so new tires are on. The only side that I really have any issues with is going to be right here, because this is rubbed before, because there's like a piece of metal in there. Like part of the tab wasn't fully relocated correctly, but yeah, let's hopefully this gets centered. But yeah, I gotta wash that tire soap off, but we're looking good. 400 treadwear all seasons, you know. First time driving the car on doo-doo tires other than when I first bought it. Any of you guys that drive, you know, grippy tires, this is the first time I've driven, again, other than when I very first bought the car to drive home with it, first time I've driven anything that wasn't at least a 200 treadwear tire in probably 3 years since I very first got my Miata. I've been driving either Federals or Nankings or, you know, any of the Japanese European drift tires I can find. They're all grippy. So it's going to be a little bit different. I might, you know, I'm definitely going to have to have some self-control next time I go to the canyon. But I do have a little bit more mechanical grip now that I'm jumped up to a 245. But still, again, these are just, you know, play it safe, burn them through the summer type tires, but this should be all right for now. So we're still here, 11 after 8 o'clock at night. Been running into some issues. So I think the reason that I've been having a hard time aligning this, I'm not getting full caster adjustment on this passenger side. pretty sure it's leading to a problem where when I initially changed out the eccentric hardware a year or so ago, almost 2 years ago, I think I put the top bolt washer, like the cam washer, maybe on backwards. So essentially they're supposed to be, you know, bottom washer this way, top washer that way. I think they're both facing the same way, which isn't giving me the adjustment that I need. So yeah, I'm gonna have to take it to my shop now. Got some hair on you guys, hold on. There we go. I'm gonna have to take it to my shop tomorrow. I'm gonna try and drop the subframe slightly, pull the bolt out, and see if we can fix that, and then try and get this in on Monday. But at least, you know, the tires are on. The car should track straight. It's just not gonna turn in the way it's supposed to, especially since it's not in spec, but it'll at least get me around. Well, I'm just taking the car home. You know, it's been a long day, kind of defeated. You know, like I said, the tow is all good. Like, the car's gonna drive straight. It's not gonna eat my tires, nothing, thankfully. But the caster being off, a degree is quite a bit, but not the worst it could be. So basically, you know, it's just gonna affect the handling of the car. So I'm gonna go try and figure this out tomorrow at the shop and hopefully get it all straightened out. Yeah, so right now I can feel the caster pulling the car to the right a little bit since the right wheel is further back essentially. But you know, it is what it is. I just gotta try and get it situated tomorrow, and then the next day we can get it back up on the rack. But if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to let me know in the comments down below. We got some stuff done today. We made a few bucks, spent a few bucks, but such is life. Circle of life at this point for me. But if you want to help support the channel by any means, if you want to, you know, send me stuff, I got a PO box you can shoot it to. I got merch in the Big Cartel and stuff. And if you're local, you want some welding and stuff done, hit me up on Instagram. Anyways, guys, do what you love. We've got the rest. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you next time. Peace.